Hey guys, this is a new video about historical artifacts and incredible finds from World War II. So let's get right into this. A Churchill tank. Last year on our channel, you could see several videos about the wonderful Museum of World War II military equipment by Vadim Zadorozhny, located in Moscow. Find the link to these videos in the description below. That time, you could see that the English tank Mk4 Churchill waited to be restored on the street platform. The condition of the exhibit was terrible. Probably it was used as a target on the shooting range. Its hull was riddled with bullets and shell holes of various calibers. This year, the museum's restorers did a great job. The tank was restored to working condition. Of course, it wasn't possible to find an original working engine. However, the museum specialist did a great job and installed an engine which was very similar to the original. The restoration is not finished yet. There are still a lot of small details that will be installed in the near future. However, the tank is now on display in the museum's outdoor area. A pistol from 1921. A few years ago, a young man living in Kazakhstan inherited an old house from a deceased relative. Last year, he decided to renovate the house and started to tear down the walls for remodeling. After tearing off some boards, he noticed a bundle of old rags. When he unwrapped it, he found an old pistol. The gun was in good condition and fully oiled, but it had traces of old corrosion on it that made it impossible to read the name. He did notice, however, that the gun looked a lot like an American Colt 1911, only in a smaller form. After spending some time in the internet, the guy found out that it was a Spanish Star MMS model 1921 pistol. It was chambered for the 7.63 Mauser cartridges. They were also called Spanish Colts because of the resemblance. These pistols were also made with the 9mm cartridges. How this gun came to be in the wall of the house is not known. It is most likely that the gun was brought back from the war by a relative who kept it just in case. In order not to get into trouble with the law, the young man took the gun to the police. He also made a video of the incident. The police told him that the gun would be handed over to the local museum after their examination. Il-2 plane. According to residents of the Prokhorovsky district, an airplane crashed in their village during the war. Thanks to the help of local old-timers, the searchers almost immediately found the crash site and discovered fragments of the plane. After studying the details, they came to the conclusion that it was an Il-2 fighter. The remains of the pilot were found nearby. Among the things found at the crash site were the pilot's personal belongings, the cover of the certificate of the 61st Red Banner Azov Aviation Regiment, fragments of a leather belt and green clothes, a carbine of the parachute system, and red boot of size 45. After a while, it was possible to determine the name of the pilot. He turned out to be First Lieutenant Boris Belokhvostov. According to archival data, he died on July 8, 1943, in a single-seat Il-2. The searchers managed to find the pilot's relative in Moscow, his niece Marina Kudryashova, and informed her about the find. After some time, she shared the documents and photos stored in the family archive. Among the documents, there was a letter from the commander of the squadron, Ovchinnikov. It was written in September 1943. Here's what it said. We accomplished the task, bombed and stormed a group of enemy tanks and infantry with our powerful fire. We flew back to our airfield. Leaving the target, Belokhvostov maneuvered confidently. He flew to my left at the distance of 150 meters. On the way, we were met by strong anti-aircraft fire from the Germans. As a commander, I protected myself from anti-aircraft fire, but at the same time I had to keep an eye on the other aircraft coming with me. And here, while inspecting the left wing, I saw a mass of bursts of anti-aircraft shells and smoke around Belohvostov's plane. Probably one of the shells hit the pilot's cockpit. The plane controlled by Belohvostov began to fall randomly. Then it went into a corkscrew and, at the second turn, fell to the ground. A column of dust rose into the air and was visible as long as I could observe it. The letter also said that the pilot was buried by local residents near the plane after the fighting, when the area where the Il-2 fell was liberated. The searchers reburied the remains of the pilot in the military cemetery. A Mauser pistol. A resident of Kazakhstan brought a Mauser pistol from 1896 to the police. He had found it by chance a year ago and kept it in his house. However, the man was afraid that he would be sentenced to prison for illegal possession of the gun and decided to hand it over to the police. The Mauser K96 was developed in Germany and was widely used in many countries in the first half of the 20th century. One of the reasons the Mauser pistol became popular was its enormous capacity for the time. The pistol was positioned as a light carbine, which it was. The wooden holster was used as the buttstock. The man received $800 for turning the gun in to the police. It is likely that the Mauser will be exhibited at the local museum after being examined. Guns in the Czech Republic. The Czech policeman showed the weapons that had been handed over to the police after the announced action for the disarmament of the local population. Although almost 80 years have passed since World War II ended, there are still many weapons hidden in various cellars and attics. The police had to have an entire room for the storage of these weapons. There were pistols, revolvers, rifles, automatic rifles, and even machine guns. Many of the pieces are of museum value and will make a part of an exhibition after being examined. All the other weapons will be destroyed. A cache in Spain. Spanish police raided arms dealers on the Costa del Sol and discovered a large cache of weapons and much Nazi memorabilia. The leaders of the gang, 2 Germans and a Briton, were arrested. The arms cache of the gang, which supplied weapons to drug smugglers in southern Spain, was unusually large. In all, 121 pistols, 22 automatic rifles, 8 submachine guns, 9,976 rounds of ammunition of various calibers, 8 silencers, 273 magazines, and even a 1.5-kilogram grenade were seized. Artifacts from the time of the Third Reich were also confiscated. In the words of the police, the room was more like a small museum, except that all the weapons were ready for use. All the weapons and artifacts were confiscated, and the explosives were destroyed by the bomb squad. Thank you for watching, friends. You can support our channel by becoming a sponsor for just $1 or by sending us a super thank you. Good luck to all!